One of the big things that we have to be competent in is mandated reporting. We are part of the safety net in the country, that if somebody is in trouble and we hear about it, whether they are our client or not, we really need to do what we can about that. That would be reporting and gathering the information needed to report. You will see some online platforms allow you to do anonymous care. Well, by definition, if you can't do your job as a mandated reporter, you should not be doing that job. Safety planning is on you. This is a clinical issue, but it's also ultimately, in terms of licensure, your legal responsibility to be in charge. You need to write out your safety plans, and a lot of that has to do with very specific things. Depending on the diagnosis of the person you're dealing with, if I have reason to believe that somebody is suicidal, then I will take these 3 steps. And then you outline what you're going to do so that you know ahead of time. So you kind of get your little roadmap beforehand. If you don't deal with suicidal patients all that much, well, good for you on one hand, okay? But a lot of times we do have to come up with a plan for that. So you at least get something for suicidal patients, homicidal patients. So you can be in compliance with your state law and also understand what your state law is about dealing with suicide. Different states have different rules. And then you need to have ongoing risk and behavior assessments as you go. Your duty to report and to warn, you have to tell people about that. Let's talk about it in a little more detail. In California, we don't have to report suicide intent. We do have to report homicide intent, and there's insurance policy that the state makes available to us in case we break confidentiality and we report somebody for homicide intent under the Tarasoff law. Not all states have a Tarasoff law. In California, you have to report to the intended victim as well as to the local police department of the patient so they can do something. Some states don't have Tarasoff. Let's say you break confidentiality in a state that does not have Tarasoff, and the patient sues you for breaking confidentiality. There's no insurance policy to protect you because they don't have Tarasoff to start with. It's important for you to know the rules of the state, the jurisprudence exam. Understand the rules of the state you're practicing in, because when you go into that state as a licensed professional, it's important to get all of this information up front about the state you're going into. And that's why people popping over from one state to another, or hey, I'm a truck driver, or I'm a train engineer, or I go from all these different states. And for years, we've not been able to deliver services to people that have those kinds of jobs. Just because we can deliver them doesn't mean that we should as licensed professionals. And until we get the regulatory issues straightened out, those of us that are actually delivering the care need to be cautious about what we're doing with this, okay? You have to tell people all this up front in your informed consent.